Hello, beautiful people of the internet. My name is Ryan. Welcome back to Slay the Princess and episode 12, and our second playthrough of this game, our second attempt to get through the story and to discover what, at this point, we're basically, we're archaeologists trying to dig up the different remains of story fragments and see what happens if we combine those into one arc or one playthrough, I guess. So that's what we're doing.
You're on a path.
We happen to be on a path in the woods.
And at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
It is a princess. So what we've done recently, so far this playthrough, is we have ignored the... We've broken time and space to create the stranger. Then we have killed the princess, let her possess us, exercise to the demon inside of us, which created an incredible chapter called incredible chapter 3 called The Princess and the Dragon, which was amazing. That leaves the question, what do we want to do next? What do we want to explore next? If my memory is correct, we still have nothing here. Yeah, Adversary is completely empty. My notes say that my personal to-do list says to flirt with the razor. I'm curious about that idea. And then go to the witch and fight dirty, or witch and don't turn your back. That's my personal to-do list. We also have a bunch of comments from people on this series so far about other things we could try. My instinct right now is let's go for the Adversary, because this is all stuff that is completely new to me. So we've done the Adversary before. Right? Yes. And then... And how did we do that? The way that I got the Adversary before was bring the knife, slay the princess. I also died in the process, though, I think.
You're here
Let's try that.
to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
We'll take a save here just to be safe, if we need to sort of continue. But we're going to go to the cabin and slay the princess.
You make your way up the short path.
And then see what happens in Chapter 2. We need to create an adversary out of the
interior of the cabin is almost entirely...
the Schrodinger's princess that is currently down there. Take the blade.
You take the blade from the table.
We... enter the basement. We hear a description of the steps. We say, just checking in on you. I don't think it really matters. I think what we want to do here is we want to kill the princess. We want to have a little bit of a conversation before we do, so that we don't do the good ending, or I honestly... I struggle to wrap my brain. I'm so glad I took good notes here. I'm so glad I took good notes playing this game. No talking and then killing her is also, I think, how we created the Spectre. So we want to talk.
It's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd forgotten about me.
And we also want to keep our eyes open for the possibility that something has changed. I don't know. We've completed a couple arcs here.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
Sure.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
So I think this is reminding me In the adversary, I die. I think that's because we basically believe her to be powerful or strong or in some way needing killing. Dangerous. Let's say nuh-uh, because it's funny. Nuh-uh.
Then drop the knife.
Nuh-uh.
We should. It'll go a long way to building trust with her. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Tighten your grip.
You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
I forgot to take notes. So we take blade, we talk, we tighten grip.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
Okay. The only other thing I can't remember is, how did we make the razor? Did we make the razor by also...
You step forward.
I don't know.
Your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it.
Yep.
So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
I think this is all according to plan so far. We've sort of built her up as something to be scared of, which I think can make her into the adversary. I believe that's correct.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
If you hesitate now. Okay. Let's slay the princess.
Doubt, unfortunately, clouds your thoughts as you attempt to run her through.
Okay.
A moment of distraction and hesitation is all she needed to sidestep your thrust and deliver a catastrophic blow to your jaw.
This is not going according to plan, exactly.
It feels like you've been hit with a sledgehammer. You can feel bone grinding on bone where your jaw has been fractured.
But maybe it is going according to plan. I don't remember. This was literally the first, in case you don't remember, like I don't remember. The first run we did in the game is how we got the adversary. And then I basically exited the game by walking out the back of the scenario. So it's been a while. The last time we did the adversary, I was mostly enraptured with... I was focused on utterly different things rather than being like, oh, how do we play the game behind the game?
Holy shit, that hurt!
It could have been this ending.
Though
or
she's
this
unarmed,
scenario.
the shock of that first strike is enough to stagger you, putting you and the princess on somewhat equal footing.
Somewhat equal footing. I still have a knife, and I have been staggered, my jaw broken.
Your blade slashes through the air again and again, and her fists connect with your body as many times or more, each impact as heavy as that first bone-crushing hit. We can still turn this around.
I didn't even take good notes back then. That's how long ago this was. Oh boy. I think this could be right. Finish the job. Although now I am interested. Could be a good place to take a save, you know what I mean? Because these three options intrigue me. I think probably finish the job leads to the adversary. I try to finish the job. She kills me in the same moment. We die. We've created a worthy adversary. And that could lead to an interesting chapter 2. On the other hand, I would read option 1 and 3 as similar because I think they might be the same. Either I give up and she kills me, or I flee, she still manages to kill me. Like, or I, you know, I think these are emotionally very similar. Maybe they're not the exact same, but they're emotionally very similar. So I am curious what happens if we What if we... I'm going to write this down as a potential to-do with a question mark next to it, just because it could be interesting. What if we started the fight, then give up? Currently, we're going to finish the job.
You and the princess stare at each other, both gasping for breath, equally exhausted. You probably won't make it out of here alive, but you can at least make sure that she won't make it out of here either.
What's interesting about this is this seems emotionally very much like the Razor type of situation. Equally determined, equally ready to die at the other's hand, if only to force the other one to die. But I think to get the Razor, what I had to do, my notes say, I brought a knife, I did not talk. She has a blade. We choose to die, is what created the Razor. So maybe that's the same thing as give up, what I just meant. But she doesn't currently have a knife. So I don't know. Things are weird. This is different than the Razor, I'm pretty sure. But there's a lot of emotional connection, is what I'm trying to say. A lot of emotional parallels here.
Excuse me? Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone is still standing right now. Can you not feel all those ruptured organs bouncing around in there? If the princess doesn't do our friend in herself, internal bleeding is certain to finish the job.
She's an MMA fighter. She's like bruised our organs and ruptured stuff.
The two of you clash for the final
Whack.
time. You feel your ribs break as she delivers a heavy blow, but you push through the pain, falling forward and sinking your blade deep into the princess's heart.
I think we're spot on.
Oh.
The two of you fall to the floor.
This was fun.
Fun is such an interesting word to use there.
The princess gasps, her voice an unhealthy rasp as her lungs start to fill with blood.
You put up more of a fight than I thought you would. But I have to wonder, do you really think this is the end?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
But you don't
It
have
says-
time to worry over such things. Everything goes dark, and you die.
It says I have not seen this dialogue before, but if it's not the adversary that pops up here, I'll be intrigued. I think it'll be the adversary. Okay, dope. So, chapter 2.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
We've been here before,
You're
but
here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
see, this is an exciting place to be because we've been sort of chasing down. Like one thing I could do right now. I hit tab, which was the wrong button. Oops. One thing I could do is I could go to this adversary thing and like really scroll and do a lot of shit there. Like try to play the game in order to force an outcome of some sort. I think that's very legitimate in lots of routes where I have seen plenty of stuff, but there's still locked things. But right now, we're on a blank slate. Well, not an entirely blank slate. We've got a princess called the Adversary, who we've never seen and interacted with before. So, screw the memories page. I'm going to play this one where my heart takes me and see what happens. And then maybe we can always come back and do another adversary run if we miss something exciting. So, with all that in mind, let's sink into the story, sink our teeth into it. Right now, she says, that was fun. But do you really think this is the end? It's sort of a, like, playful, looking forward to the fight of it. Again, maybe some similarities to the Razor in certain ways, but maybe more so, I feel like a mutual respect vibe so far. Let's see how that goes. These dialogues just tell the narrator. Actually, they introduce a new voice. I died. What am I doing here?
I can assure you that you're not
What voice?
dead. And to answer your second question, you're here to slay the princess. I literally told you that a second ago.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
Okay, who's it gonna be?
You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. That's fine. It doesn't matter if he can hear us. The only thing that matters is marching up to that cabin and winning.
Oh, this is interesting. Winning. All that matters is winning. What could possibly go wrong if we build a world in which both me, the player, and the princess will do anything it takes to win? What could possibly go wrong?
That's the spirit. There's no point in squabbling when the real threat is just up that hill.
The narrator likes the stubborn. All right, let's go to the cabin.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie.
We can
She
skip
will
stuff
cheat.
here.
Lying and cheating doesn't sound like her at all. Not that it matters. It's not like she can lie or cheat in the middle of a fight.
Okay, we might skip some narrator dialogue just to get to stubborn dialogue because my writerly spidey senses are really tingling with the stubborn. I like it. I like the voice acting too. Lying and cheating doesn't sound like her at all. Not that it matters. It's not like she can lie or cheat in the middle of a fight. Just so looking forward to the escalation. Screw the posturing before the fight. Screw the conversation and manipulation that can happen with our words. Let's get to the middle of the fight. That's what the stubborn wants.
Are you sure about that?
The point of my warning wasn't to start an argument over what circumstances the princess is capable of lying in. It was to give you some broadly applicable advice. The princess will do and say whatever she thinks it will take to get her out of there. So don't trust her. Ever. Are we clear?
Crystal. Let's just get on with it already.
I like the voice. I like the voice a lot, the acting of it. I feel a little bit like the stubborn to me is like a pirate, like or a seasoned war veteran. Somebody who's really seen the shit, you know?
The cabin is tighter than its exterior would suggest. Its cold stone walls press in on you, as if trying to forcefully direct you towards your destination. The only furniture of note is a black iron altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
Altar. Cabin is claustrophobic stone with an altar. Okay.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Am I hearing like almost an echoing church bell behind me? Because altar, and frankly, like, yep. Now that is an angle I would not have taken this. It's almost like monastery stone. Is the vibes. This is not like a cathedral made of carved of stone, right? This is like sheer, tight, even the like harsh ringing of that bell sound almost. You didn't say anything about the mirror on the wall.
That's because there isn't a mirror. There's the altar, the blade sitting on the altar, and the door to the basement. There's
Why
nothing
call
else
it
in
an
here.
altar? Why call it an altar? An altar, a place where you offer something up in respect or in offering, in prayer, in offering, to a larger power. Offering up a blade to a larger power? Is the adversary just the chapter about violence? Is it the chapter about the fight becoming more than the opponent type of situation, right? Like, the fight itself becomes more important than the enemy?
There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. Oh, stop bickering and just get on with it. Who even cares if there's a mirror?
Impatient, wants to be in the fight. Looking at myself in the mirror couldn't be less interesting to the stubborn. Approach the mirror. I care about whether or not I'm being lied to.
As do I. I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There is no mirror. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good
Okay, we're gonna
would a
skip.
mirror...
I wanted to see if the stubborn would say anything. Take the blade. No, sorry, approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny.
Wipe the mirror clean.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But it was
You
there
gotta
a
do it.
second ago.
For tradition.
And now it's gone, so all of us can stop arguing about it and get to fighting.
Like we said, what is if we had to paint the character? If for those of you who are interested in this kind of thing, one of the earliest things you're often taught to do with characters in writing is in like character development is characters can often be not simplified but like be distilled down to what is the essence of a character. One of the ways to get there is to sort of put a label on what a character wants and what a character fears. We know what the stubborn wants. The stubborn wants the fight. So far, if we had to paint the picture of the stubborn wants the fight. What does the stubborn fear? We're not sure yet. Also, often the wanting and the fearing are related. Not always, though. What is the stubborn... Or not always, like, very explicitly. Often they're related because we're humans and characters are designed after humans. What you want and what you fear are often very tied together, but maybe not like I want to win the fight, I fear losing the fight. It's not like that kind of situation. Generally, like the stubborn wants the fight because of something. Let's take the blade.
You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
The narrator continues to call it the altar and to explicitly point that out, meaning the writers want to point that out. I can't wait to read these stairs.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a rough stone staircase, its walls pressing at your sides and tightening as you descend. The air seeping from below is heavy and oppressive, with an almost sulfuric odor to it. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor.
Oh, okay. So, more claustrophobia. Sulfur, meaning like sulfur and brimstone type of situation? Like, is something magical going on down here or something rotten?
Her fierce voice carries up the stairs.
Fierce.
Is that another challenger? Finally. It's been ages since I've had a good fight.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
This isn't what she sounded like last time. Her voice is a little deeper, almost threatening.
Yeah, it's a good thing we brought the blade.
Good. Sounds like my kind of princess.
As much as I appreciate the enthusiasm, just make sure you don't let your bloodlust get to your head. You need to stay focused and keep your wits about you. Remember, you're here to slay the princess, not to have a good fight.
I love this line because this is so observant from the narrator. You're here to slay the princess. The end, the goal matters, not the process. And the stubborn's like, I want a good fight. I want to be in the middle of the I want to be in the middle of the thrall of battle. That's what matters. These are all hypotheses. We'll see how they...
the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A large shackle leading from her wrist to the basement wall.
Okay, so devilish, forked tail, cloven hooves, whatever, some horns, devilish, tiefling at the very least.
Looks like she could rip those chains out of the wall without a second thought.
Oh, it's you again. I'd been hoping you'd find your way back here. Good to see that death doesn't stick for either of us.
Is it bad that this is the hottest princess in my mind? What does it say? Okay, I'm ready to be psychoanalyzed on the internet. What is it about me that I walked down the stairs and I was immediately like, oh boy, okay, well, Good to see that death doesn't stick around. Sorry, doesn't stick for either of us.
And you brought your little knife, too. Yes.
Oh, boy. I think I might regret saying that this was the hottest princess. Because I think that's probably going to, like, fall by the wayside really quickly.
I'm going to have fun breaking you into little pieces.
Okay. Okay. Oh boy, I hope you heard all of that, Mr. Narrator. This is a lot different than last time, but last time definitely happened. You look different, so you do remember me. I'm actually here to free you. I'm not saying I'm not here to fight, but I think the two of us have a few things to unpack first, like how we're both still alive. We could slay the princess, or we could say, I don't know what happened to you since the last time we met, but I'm not fighting a giant demon lady. Bye. Turn around and leave without saying anything. So my instinct is we need to... Need is the strong word. We need, aka my curiosity drives me, to see what... If we have the stubborn right now, which is voice of the stubborn, which is the saturation of that like thrall of the fight, turned up to like 7 out of 10. Turn it up to 12 out of 10 and see what happens, right? Let's feed that thrall. Also, for those of you who are fantasy readers, I am using thrall because I have been reading too much Brandon Sanderson recently. I am using that word specifically to get at what I'm getting at because I have been reading too much Brandon Sanderson. Let's feed the like desire to fight, the like eyes go red with rage. Whether or not you win or lose, to be in the middle of the battle is makes you feel alive type of situation. Of course, if we can get some interesting dialogue along the way, that means that we can learn more things. So I like the option of... I'm not saying I'm not here to fight, but I think the two of us have a few things to unpack first, like how we're both still alive. Try that.
What is there to unpack? I was dead and now I'm not, and the same goes for you. There. Unpacking done.
This is like the anti-dialogue route. The stubborn doesn't want to talk. The princess does not want to talk. The adversary does not want to talk.
We've been given free rein to wail on each other. Forever.
Yeah, it's like a twisted razor. It's a twisted version of razor.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
I think they're in love. I think the stubborn and this princess deserve to fight and fuck forever. It's the 3 Fs. I think they deserve to fight, fuck, fight, make up, fuck, forever. I think that's what they deserve.
All right, fine. I believe you.
What? About this having happened before.
What you said earlier in the woods, I believe you. You've already met the princess, and the princess has already met you. But that's all the more reason to take this seriously.
Yeah, oh, we'll try and kill her. The problem is, I don't know that we're going to win.
You don't know that whatever brought the two of you back to life isn't a fluke. And beyond that, do you know who doesn't remember anything that happened last time? Me. I don't remember.
Are you okay?
Of course I'm not okay. As far as we're all concerned, the fate of my world is still very much on the line. Not all of us have the luxury of jumping over to a parallel universe the second we die.
But some of us do, for sure. Some of us meaning me. Oh, we can lie about this, which I think is so funny. This is interesting. What does it matter what we say to the narrator here? In a way, this is pointing out something really interesting to me, which is that many of the arcs of the story of Slay the Princess like, of course, this is going to sound so obvious, right? In many ways, of course, the real adversary of Slay the Princess is the narrator or the scenario or the contraption we've been set up in part of which means the narrator, part of which means whatever created the narrator, part of which means our own me and the ebb and flow and our relationship to each other, et cetera, et cetera. There's like a larger narrator that is not obviously the princess. But right now we have a princess called the Adversary, and the person we're spending our time arguing with is the narrator. Like the princess and I sort of understand each other perfectly. And the person who is the actual adversary in this conversation, the narrator. Don't worry, I'm going to do a good job.
Great. Now focus up and do it then.
Probably the least interesting option. But, oh well. I kind of wanted to try some other stuff there, but I probably should have. You look different.
You look exactly the same.
I think that means my odds are worse. So you do remember me.
Oh, I remember you all right. Best 3 minutes of my life.
I'm telling you, dude.
Why don't we do it again?
There's a sex thing going on here. I'm telling you. It's kinky. And I kind of like it.
See? She wants to fight us again. There's no reason for us to stand around talking.
My only thought is we could actually say, I'm actually here to free you, and then attack her anyways. But I don't think she... I kind of want to... Okay, we're going to save real quick. Just because I kind of want to see what happens if I click, I'm actually here to free you. If this means that I get attacked, or that I do not get the chance to attack her, I may reload this. I'm just saying that right now, because I'm most interested in doing that. But knowing that we've played through the game at least once before, we might not get a chance to do some of these dialogue options, so I may occasionally reload a save here. I don't think I've reloaded a single save in this game yet, right? But we might get there soon. I'm actually here to free you.
Free her?
She should be disappointed.
You aren't.
She is.
I don't know why I'm even bothering, to be honest. You know the stakes of the situation.
She looks pissed. She looks disappointed. She's thinking right now, you're not the person I thought you were.
Who says I want to be free?
Yeah. Why wouldn't you want to be free?
Are you sure we want to look a gift horse in the mouth right now? If she doesn't want to leave, doesn't this whole situation just work out for everyone?
There's nothing out there for me. The only thing I care about is right here.
I'm telling you, we're in love. We want the same things. We enjoy our time together. On some basic sort of fucked up level, isn't that love? The stubborn and the adversary want the same thing, and they enjoy spending time with each other. On a basic fucked up level, I'm telling you.
All I want is to keep knowing what it feels like to kill you and be killed by you. I want to feel that knife split me open. I want to feel your bones snap beneath my fists.
They're sexting. They're currently sexting.
I think I'll just let the princess speak for herself here. Leaving her in the basement isn't an answer. You have to make a choice.
This is the funniest thing to me. I think I'll just let the princess speak for herself here. When in this entire game has the narrator ever done that?
And there's only one choice worth making. Fight her. Win.
We're turning the saturation up. We're turning the dial. We're going to attack the princess here. Attempting to free the princess would be so interesting. Let me write down attack.
Finally ready to complete your destined task, you launch off the whetstone floor of the basement and catapult yourself headlong towards the princess.
There's no way we win here, right?
Here we go. Let's make this count.
Oh, we'll make it count, all right.
We've got the stubborn with us now. Maybe we do. Maybe we fight dirtier than we used to. Dirtier, you know what I mean? I'm telling you, there's something so horny about this whole thing. And not just like horns on her head.
As you bridge the gap, your blade slashes across the princess's chest, splitting skin and drawing a jagged line of bright red blood.
That's what she said she wanted.
But she's unfazed by your onslaught. Her expression barely changes as her fist collides with your ribs, cracking them like twigs and driving you right back down to the basement floor.
We've been here before.
You can hear her chains snap as you struggle to recover from the impact. She almost looks disappointed in us. Why is she disappointed in us?
She's disappointed in us? Are we not a worthy adversary? Is that the problem? You look different. We don't. You look different. We look the same. She said that. She pointed that out to us.
Oh, you don't actually get it, do you? That knife may be sharp, but you clearly don't want to kill me.
I do want to kill. I mean,
it's not fun if you hesitate. It's not fun if you try to trick me and make me bleed out. It's only fun if you go straight for the heart.
what I'm learning is that this word right here is a very important one in this game. It's not fun if you hesitate. We hesitated. We asked questions. We unpacked. It's only fun if I am feral for the heart. If I'm feral for the kill. Feral for the kill. Feral? 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 Feral?
You need to put everything you have into seeing me dead. Or what's the point? So don't be afraid. Don't hesitate. Kill me.
Let's do it.
Don't let her get in your head. Reincarnation or not, this world needs you to win.
We want the same things right now. The narrator, me, the player, the princess, we all want the same thing. We want me to go for it.
She's huge, but that probably means she's slower than us. Take it slow, think it through, and don't panic. Bleeding her out is our best course of action.
So, this is so interesting to me. God, this game is so nuanced. It's beautiful. The voice of the hero here is actually the one person who does not disagree. If you want to win and keep yourself alive, the hero says, take it slow. Think it through. Don't panic. Bleed her out. Fight slow. She wants us to leap straight for the heart, no hesitation.
Don't listen to them. She understands something that they don't. The only way to win, the only way out of this is through her.
We're gonna try. We're doing the saturation dial. Strike at her heart head on. We're gonna die here, but we're gonna try it. As soon as I write it down. Strike at heart.
If that's your plan, then that's your plan. You push off the ground, ignoring the pain in your ribs as you charge at the princess once more. You can feel flesh give way before a sudden impact blunts your momentum, your weapon tightly lodged in the bone of her arm. She grins at you from behind her guard.
Oh.
Pull it out. We'll try a different angle. No, we can do this. Just keep pushing.
Really? The stubborn says just keep pushing? It's so on brand.
We're not gonna win if our weapon's stuck in her arm.
But winning is not what we actually want right now. What we are trying to do is we're trying the stubborn, just like the dumb, frankly, the dumb, just keep pushing around.
The princess's grin widens as the two of you push against each other, her fiery eyes and masochistic glee practically lighting up the dreary cave.
Yeah, this is good. This is good writing too.
Yes, you finally get it, don't you?
If I truly get it, I think the answer is to silently continue pushing.
Yes, you're right. We don't even need to talk about it.
Yeah.
Your balance is suddenly thrown off as the princess pulls you into her knee.
Okay.
It collides with your ribs, and you feel them splinter,
Oh, boy.
cracking like wet wood from the impact.
Ugh.
We're fine.
We're not.
But you barely have enough time to notice before the princess follows up and smashes her forehead against yours.
This is like the what's the Doom? Like Doom the video game? What's the Doom tagline? It's like rip and tear. This is like the Doom chapter. Rip and tear. just go for it.
Your grip loosens from the impact, the blade still wedged in her arm as you tumble to the cold stone floor.
I said we're fine.
Now we don't even have a blade.
I didn't say you weren't fine. I was just describing what happened. You might not have said as much, but you certainly implied it. It really doesn't matter. The princess glances down at the blade embedded in her arm, and with near total ignorance to pain, slides it out of its sinewy prison.
You forgot this.
He wants me to have the blade.
She tosses it at your feet.
There's talking. There's talking. We could take it or we could skip. Aren't you jumping the gun a little here? We each died once. That doesn't mean we're immortal. Were you being metaphorical when you said that nothing exists outside of us? There's more to the world than just this cabin. I saw trees and everything on my way in here. Actually, I think I'm done fighting you. I don't think this is healthy for either of us. At this point, I'm just saving just for the fun of it, right? We're going to pick up the blade and attack again.
You and the princess attack each other once again, each of you dealing a single, terrible, lethal blow.
Yeah.
Wait, does that mean we're dead? Or rather, about to be dead? As your blade pierces her sternum, the princess buries her fist into the soft meat of your organs. You feel a few horrifically painful pops, a gush of fluid, and it's over. It's finally over.
Okay. I hesitate to even phrase it this way, but that was beautiful in its own way. I mean, it was. Now we get to see what happens of it.
No, it's not. We're just getting started.
I like the stubborn.
But it is over. Dead is dead. I know this isn't the happiest ending for you, but you saved the entire world from ruin. There are few better endings than that.
Meta commentary? Endings?
Well, are you going to listen to him? Or are you going to listen to me? Get up.
We get to get up? And we don't have a choice.
Wait, no, that can't be right.
Chapter 3. No?
Your eyes bolt open and you push yourself back to your feet. Alive.
Okay, let's think through this real quick. We can choose to keep ourselves alive here against the narrator's descriptions and against our body's protestations.
Ha! I told you. I told you this wasn't over.
What about her? The blade went right through her heart.
What about her? If we're fine, then she's fine.
I mean, if the rules don't apply to me, they certainly don't apply to her either.
No, she's dead. She has to be... No!
No, she's not dead. She's not dead. No way she's dead.
Right. We're all shit out of luck, aren't we?
So I thought the way this would go would be a chapter 3 where things are turned up even more, right? The rising, continuing rise towards a climax of even more bloodthirsty, even more no talking, just fighting. But we're still here. What does that mean?
I knew it. I told you we should all believe in her. This is perfect.
The princess rises from the ground, staggering slightly, one hand wrapped around the hilt of the blade still buried in her heart.
We don't even need to start over anymore, do we? Let's go again.
The meta commentary. We don't even need a new chapter. If all we're going to do is fight each other forever, we can skip the middlemen and just do it here. That's what the stubborn and the adversary are sort of escaping the confines of the scenario.
She pulls the weapon from her chest.
Does she toss it to me?
Wincing,
Of course.
and hurls it at your feet.
You know what to do. again.
I love the music. The like droning. What it reminds me of actually is Dune. A lot of good. A lot of good Dune soundtrack vibes right now. The recent Dune, with this like droning, overpowering. Boom, boom. You know what to do.
But she came back. What's the point of fighting her if she can just do that? All of you need to settle down. This whole situation is coming dangerously close to untethering. She clearly never actually died. You just missed her heart, that's all.
Yeah, we should definitely just continue aiming for the heart, see what happens.
Oh, we just missed her heart?
Of course.
Of course, that's all. You were the one who said we hit her heart. You were the one who said it was finally over. Well, I guess I had it wrong. You guess you had it wrong. Aren't you supposed to know everything? I never said I knew everything.
What does close to untethering mean? I think I can talk to the narrator. I think it's the hesitating and attacking her that might mess with things a little bit.
Nothing. It means nothing. I shouldn't have said that. But you did say it, so it means something.
Oh, stop bickering over nothing. Our destiny is right in front of us. Pick up the blade and go to her.
Okay. Attack again.
Okay, fine. That is what I meant by untethering. Do you hear him rambling on about destiny? He's lost the thread, and if you lose the thread, you won't be able to save the world. And what is that supposed to mean? I don't have to answer that, and I'm not going to answer that.
I have to say, one of the things that I admire about this game's writing is how incredibly difficult it must be to plan for any potential route through the game being any potential player's first route through the game. What I mean by that is, like, I'm basically at this point skimming, because we're kind of having a conversation we've had before. Oh, the narrator's hiding something, untethering, destiny, etc., etc. But what's happened? So because I've been through the game a couple times, I've encountered this piece of information a couple times, or at least something very similar to it. And the sheer logistics of making any possible route through the game, having enough of a commentary on that sort of situation, on the narrator and their grasp on the world, on like, you must slay the princess and other parallel universes. If you failed to slay the princess in this one, then you damn an entire, you damn one parallel universe to destruction, etc., etc. You have to continually drip feed that through all of the narratives. It's just like, it's a logistics nightmare. There's a reason most people write novels, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and on to the end. You control the flow of information, and that is how you control the experience of the player. When you do stuff that is more choose your own adventure, it is a monumental task that you set yourself to try and drip feed that same information in new ways and meaningful ways in any set of scenarios that a person could go through. Anyways, enough rambling.
Why the bloody hell not? Because right now, there's still a razor-thin chance that you're able to get your act together. There are patterns of thought out there that beg to be finished, but once you finish them, that's it. They change everything. There's no going back, and if I say anything else, you're going to finish one of those thoughts.
Beautiful, beautifully written. This is maybe the simplest way. This is a better way than I have found to talk about the game. This is the thesis for this game in some ways. There are patterns of thought out there that beg to be finished, but once you finish them, that's it. They change everything. No going back.
What?
Princess can't die. The princess can't die. The princess can't die. The minute I have finished that thought, the minute I have fucked this universe. I get it now. And so, So good. A lot of the princess can't dies. One, you mean like the princess can't die? That thought? Well, it's too late for that. I think we've all thought that thought before. Or, I'm not going to say the princess can't die. I'm not even going to think about it. Of course, thinking about it means that I've thought about it. Saying it means that I've thought about it. I could lie and say the princess can die. It's great. It's great. What do I pick? I don't know. This is a very, like, you've lost the game kind of situation. Oh. I don't think it matters what I pick, frankly. I don't think that it matters what I pick. I'm going to choose not thinking about it, because I think it'll be funny. And sort of illustrative or illustrative. Illustrative? How do you pronounce that word? I think it'll illustrate some nice things about this game.
But you did think it, didn't you? I tried, you know. I tried very hard to make this work.
We got a Steam achievement.
I don't like that resignation.
Oh, yeah.
Are you sure we can't just unthink it? Yes. Like I said, I'm afraid some thoughts can't be unthought. I'll be back in a moment. I'm going to pour myself a stiff drink. If I'm going to see the end of everything, I'd rather not be sober.
So I was right.
Great line. Great line.
Why are all of you so glum? This is perfect, isn't it? We get to experience greatness and battle and triumph forever.
And the thing we know about forever in this world is that it's always a great choice.
Well, I think it was the stubborn one who said, your destiny awaits, right?
No, hold on. There has to be another way. What if we just leave her down here? What if we run away? What if we convince her not to end the world?
It's actually not what the caption says. The voice acting and the caption, I think for the first time I have seen in the entire game, are slightly different. Voice actor said, what if we convince her not to end the world? It's a unimportant distinction, but there is actually a potential error there.
You can't reason with her. Ending the world is her fundamental nature. It's not a decision she can flip on and off. It is her.
Because we made her this.
And what exactly can't we leave her down here?
Because all it would do is stall the inevitable.
And what's wrong with stalling?
Oh, there's plenty wrong with stalling. The end is still the end, and I'd rather face mine head on.
Oh, you mopey ass. Why did you even ask us to slay her if it was going to end like this?
This is the best. There are like a couple truths that ring true that stay across the universes that we find ourselves in this game. One of them, you can't unthink. Once you've thought a thought all the way, once you've followed a thought all the way to the end of its train of thought, you can't unthink it. There are patterns of thought out there that beg to be finished. Another one, stalling. There's plenty wrong with stalling. The end is the end. I'd rather face mine head on. That's sort of a theme that remains true in the game, at least to this point so far. So, stalling is no real solution in this game, across the chapters I've played at least.
Because it didn't have to end like this. If you don't mind, I'd rather not spend everyone's last moments arguing with you. It's time.
This would be an amazing chapter to get on your first chapter, or like an amazing arc.
Yes, I suppose it is.
Because you learn a lot about the narrator and the relationship to the world, and you get basically some advice from the narrator. And it's a weird one because the narrator and the voice of the stubborn are like in agreement for a while, and then it goes bad.
If we fight her forever, then maybe she can't end the world. Maybe everything can still work out.
We're just going to be a couple bloody stumps, like still attempting to hit each other here in like an hour.
I guess we'll just have to see how things play out.
Narrator's so over our shit.
Don't you get it? You don't have to shuffle your feet. What comes next is going to last forever.
Join your adversary.
With an unbreakable determination, you snatch the blade from the floor and stumble back to your feet.
Both you and the princess quake with adrenaline as your eyes lock across the basement floor and share a knowing look. Free from hesitation, you close the distance, both you and the princess aiming to end each other. Your blade digs into her neck, grinding against her vertebrae as her fist connects with your body. The impact forces the air from your lungs, stars dancing in front of your eyes as you fail to keep your bearing. You both collapse to the ground before either of you has a chance to survey the damage.
And then we get up.
Get up.
Yes. And then you get up.
That was a good one. More.
Play the princess.
You and the princess exchange dozens of devastating blows. Sometimes you manage to strike first, and sometimes she tears through you before you have a chance to act. But more often than not, each of you fells the other in the same moment. And then you get up and do it again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again.
Oh boy. The entrails over here. Oh boy. Face.
We're all still here. This is all gonna be okay. Isn't it?
Nah.
Isn't it?
But he doesn't answer the voice. He'll never answer. He is gone.
What are you waiting for? I'm right here. Do you think this is... What is this place?
This will be really interesting for my playthrough, right? Playthrough, arc, chapter. Like for my playthrough, my bringing vessels to the shifting mound. This will be really interesting.
Did we do this?
Huh. I didn't think we had it in us. But I guess that stuck-up control freak was right.
It's the end of the world, isn't it? It's the end of everything.
Far from it. We're still here. And she's still here too.
I'm also a little nervous at the destructive capability of this arc. Princess stumbles, her body slumps. We've got to see the hands, right?
I feel so... tired.
Yeah, there it is. Okay. I was a little worried that that princess was so sort of destructive and something that it would be that it might like actually interrupt my overall playthrough. If she cannot die, can I ever even offer her as a vessel? We did. You know, in the magical logic of the world, we offered a vessel. We got here. You don't get the chance to respond, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
We never saw a chapter 3 sign there, which is interesting.
But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything.
Screw the mirror. We just need to find the princess.
I wonder if there's a chapter 3 at the end of the or through the adversary route.
Okay. If you say so. We'll trust you.
Maybe there'll be a good fight there. Maybe we'll find her again.
Approach the mirror. By the way, I've been getting some crap, and I heard I've been getting some crap in the comments about my choices when you bring the voices to the mirror. I heard I've been getting some crap from some people. I respect that. I respect really caring about how you treat the voices. After all, they're sort of your only companions in this game. I respect that. Reflection. So this is our third vessel. So it should be. I think this is the same. Withered. Yeah, I think so. And then we get to talk to the ebb and flow. You're at the cabin. This is a really fun
growing chorus of contradiction.
arc for me.
A mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold.
Okay, we've heard this before.
To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again.
The ebb and flow is becoming more a mass of contradictions. Vessels sort of headbutting each other and sort of fighting for space or sort of contradicting each other.
All of me is changing.
I think that the tradition right now is that I ask the question, what do you think of this vessel?
This one yearns to grow and struggle. Even now I feel a will pushing against mine, not realizing that we are one. She will make for a bold heart.
A bold heart for sure. A bold heart for sure. She enjoys the struggle. She pushes and yearns for more.
Do not mourn her. We will provide her with the growth she fought for.
I don't think what we're making here is going to desire less to be a god. Based on what we just brought her, if that makes sense. I don't know how the ending of this game plays out in multiple endings yet, because I'm not there yet, but the last one kind of wanted to be a god. I think that's possible here, because we just gave her a thing that just wants to struggle forever and also sort of exercise her power forever by stabbing you and by punching you in the gut. Other than that option, you know what happens to the worlds we leave behind?
My perspectives are shadowed. You have seen what I have seen, just as I have seen what you have seen. The angles of my vantage. Perhaps this will change.
I've asked that question before. How many more vessels at this point?
We will know when we near our destination.
I think it's 2. I'm ready to go back. I've never picked attack the entity and destroy your body, and I don't know if I will ever. I'm ready to go back. Although, on this specific option, it might be very interesting to say, you know that at the end of this, once you're finished, I'm going to kill you.
If that remains your choice when all is said and done, then you may try. But know that I do not wish you harm, even if you attempt to destroy me.
After we've just spent so long trying to destroy the other one while also, after the dance that we've just done, that's an interesting question to ask. And the answer is interesting to hear. An assurance that I don't wish you harm, even if you will attempt to destroy me. I don't know that this remains true by the end of the game, but we'll see. I'm ready to go back.
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
Everything goes dark and you die. Okay.
You're on a path in the woods. And
Good
at the
stuff.
end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
That's the adversary proper, which I never actually got to do the first time I played. And now I'm very curious. What else could have happened? Die to her upstairs armed or unarmed. Has to be you try to leave after. Yeah. Here's princess? I don't understand. Goad her into giving you a free shot, then take it. Interesting. Agility is the only way to overcome brute strength. This is the, like... Listen to the hero. This is maybe the hero. Try to free her. It's not a fight if you refuse to strike back. Okay. That was very interesting. I don't know. Narrow cave is no place to fight forever. I was really expecting a chapter 3 there. But I don't know. Maybe there's a way to get some. I'm not sure. I feel like this could be a chapter 3. Need more space. Narrow cave is no place to fight. But either way, I'm very happy I finally saw the Adversary out. That's going to do it for this episode. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'll figure out what to do in the next one, and we'll go from there. Thank you. I really hope you've enjoyed these episodes. This game always gives you something to think about. And frankly, for me, something to think about. I like the way this game thinks through things and presents things. And also just something to admire. Like, I feel like in every chapter, I've had something to admire about the way that the story, the experience is constructed in its individual nature and the way in which it fits into the larger picture. What a risky video game to make. There's a real shot when you make a video. I think there's a real shot when you make something like this that you're going to spend 2 years obsessively planning and creating what ends up being a nearly inscrutable spaghetti mess of choices and outcomes. And I think it's a lot easier to make a spaghetti mess than it is to make something with this sort of structure. Because this game has a, like, I don't know how else to phrase it. There are, like, support beams in this structure. This structure is well built. You know? A series of relatively simple choices. Take the blade, don't. Hesitate, don't. That all really umbrella out into some really interesting choices. I think that part probably doesn't get praised. My guess is that part doesn't get praised in this game enough because that shit is hard to do. Writing a linear narrative is hard enough to keep the pieces moving in the right direction, to keep things structured. Writing a narrative like this where you find your own way through is mind-bogglingly difficult for me personally to even imagine. So, anyways, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in another video very soon. Until then, bye-bye. Thanks for hanging out.